now, if you hear any in this script coughing, that is our cameraman. We forced him to do some cocaine. If you never had this, words aren't going to do it justice. You actually need to seek it out and try it.
You physically have to try this just to get it.
Packaging, you know, I'm only going to give it a 1. I mean, the fact that it says cocaine and that it's sold in stores is interesting, and it warrants, you know, some consideration.
Definitely.
But again, I think creativity is key, and
it's not creative. I think this is, you know, really they were banking on an illegal drug, and it's weak in my mind. Yeah. I mean, sure, it's a red can. The packaging is kind of interesting. It actually looks like powder.
That's
you know, but that's still, I still think they're playing off the drug too much.
Yeah.
Now, the warning on here is actually pretty funny, you know, basically saying this message is for people who are too stupid to recognize the obvious. I don't need to go further into this message, basically saying that this is not real cocaine.
Oh, that flavor.
The flavor.
You know, sometimes when I was a kid, I would take a drink of ginger ale and I would take it too fast and the bubbles would get up in my nose and kind of choke me up. That's what this does. The flavor, you know, I mean, it's kind of a pink, rocious color. But the flavor, it gets in the back of your throat, and it tickles it, it itches it. I gotta say, this, to me, to sum it up, is like big red chewing gum, carbonated and put into a can.
I feel you.
Cinnamon.
I feel you on that, Brian. It's really sweet up front, but then it burns and tickles your throat. It's almost like a liquid atomic fireball. Really, maybe not that spicy, but you definitely get the cinnamon in the back of your throat.
Yeah, if it was marketed that, it might actually do better.
It might actually do better.
It is an oddity. It warrants trying once for that reason alone.
Pure shock value.
It's
pure shock value.
It's not something that you're going to be drinking, you know, at your next you know, party or, you know,
right. Do not drink this
over Sunday brunch with the relatives, the in-laws.
No, do not drink this for energy, but definitely as a gag or you know just to try something new out of the box. Go for it. I gave it a 3 in taste because it tries something new.
I gave it a 3 as well because it's so different. But again, try it once just to say you've done it, but after that, pass it on.
Kick it like a bad habit.
Full Throttle. Okay, it's time for Full Throttle, again, I never had this one, but the package tells me a lot. It tells me to go full throttle or go home. Well, in this situation, I'm home and I'm full throttle, so it's kind of like a conundrum.
Oh, man.
But it also gives a definition for full throttle. Don't know if you're familiar with this one. If a person or machine, we're not talking about organic plant matter, they've been excluded.
Yes.
If it's at full throttle, they are doing something as well and with as much energy as they can. Again, the creativity, I don't know who sits at a kiosk and you know, types these up in a cubicle, but kudos to those guys.
Yeah, that alone would probably make me buy it, but it's not going to make it pop.
And this has got an association too with
yeah, this also has a mainstream with an established soda company. This is actually the product of the Coca-Cola company. So whereas we had Amp prior having its connection to Mountain Dew and the Pepsi company, this is the Coca-Cola company's version of mainstream energy drink.
Let's try it. Alright, Full Throttle. Let's go ahead and talk about taste first. You said that this reminded you of an old candy that people might be familiar with.
Right off the tip, right on the tip of the tongue, it tastes like a lemon head. I kind of get the feeling of a lemon head, but it just doesn't finish. It doesn't finish like, you know, if I had just popped a lemon head in my mouth.
Yeah, which is funny because for 2 reasons. One, when I was pouring this into the cups, I mentioned it looked kind of like lemonade. It kind of had like an off-white yellow color, not that strong, kind of darker yellow as a lot of the other energy drinks. Also, you mentioned about the finish, and you nailed it right on the head with that one, because when I was taking my first drink, I was really enjoying it at first, but it kind of tampered off.
Yeah,
the taste went from something different and dynamic with the lemon, and then I kind of just got bored with it by the end of it.
Yeah,
it tasted artificial, and you know, basically the worst aspect of energy drinks peeked its head out.
I think if the tartness of the flavor would carry through to the end, kind of like I believe it was the Rockstar has that tartness on the end. Maybe if this took a hint from that and it just stayed constant, it'd be fine. But because it trails off and it just it fizzes off into oblivion by the end of the drink.
And I can imagine a whole can of it, you would be basically filled by disappointment by the end. But doing a shot of it, I do like the lemon, enough so much in fact that I am going to give this a score of a 3.
I gave it a 2. The stark contrast from its start to its finish, it's too much. It doesn't complement it. It starts out strong and falls flat.
It doesn't have the same power to hang with the big boys.
Right.
Packaging wise, lame.
Lame.
Again, we're you know, maybe these things are cliches because they work for them, but I gotta feel energy drinks are supposed to be the alternative. They're supposed to be fresh, cutting edge. The packaging on this, the packaging on this seems stale. It seems so 5 years ago.
Very flat.
The fonts,
it's black and silver. That's all there is to it, and
it's boring.
Boring.
You know, and for something called Full Throttle and something backed by such a big mega conglomerate like Coca-Cola, you should be having something that just pops, like the comic book artwork.
Coke is an icon. I mean, even going back to Mountain Dew and Amp, Coke is an icon, and I can't see Full Throttle being around in 10 years.
Yeah, give it a 1.
I'd give it a 1 as well.
Radioactive energy drink. Alright, so far we've tried several drinks. We're getting towards the end of the competition here. Will this be the savior for the unknowns? Will this bring them back into contention?
I hope it will. I mean, I really think there are some heavy hitters on the mainstream side, but
sure.
Radioactive, I've had it before. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, the color's pretty out there. The packaging's cool.
Let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly.
That's weird.
It's a weird flavor.
Well, I was trying to actually search online for some medical advice to what to do if you've ingested any radioactive toxic waste.
Oh man, and it even has its own website here, catchtheglow.com. So I mean, if we were to pull that up, I'm sure it would tell us otherwise. Tell us we're okay and keep drinking, because it says right here, keep the party going and glowing.
Keep drinking, yeah. It'll take more than just some strong bravado to do that. Maybe some money. Actually, would have to be transpired. Because I got to tell you, Paul, we came pretty far into the challenge. This is drink 8 of 10, and by far, so far, this is the worst tasting for me. I got to tell you, I never drank any cleaning solution before, but the smell and the immediate hit of this is like pine salt. It tastes like something that should be underneath my kitchen sink.
Oh, I know. There should be a warning for children on this thing.
I give it a 1 on flavor.
I gave it a 2. I think it's a little interesting. It's got some unique fruit to it, but
maybe a little bit of lime, but it's weird.
It's tacky almost.
Yeah,
I mean, it leaves this weird. It leaves this weird feeling on your tongue.
It does have a heavy aftertaste, like paint. I don't know. Something's off about Radioactive.
Yeah, something is just not right about this stuff. I mean,
now packaging, though, on the other hand, quite the opposite. I mean.
It's got it going for it.
Well, it's about what you'd want. If you call it a drink Radioactive, you want it to look, kind of imposing, kind of foreboding. I mean, you've got the radioactive symbol that we all recognize.
Yeah, the symbol's on there. It's that lime green. It just pops. Now, it's enforced with vitamins. Enforced. I mean, I don't know what that means. Yeah. I don't know what that means at all.
Get in there, vitamins. Get in there.
It's.
Are they having a battle of? It's
charged with a hypernuclear surge of extreme energy and enforced with essential vitamins. I mean, it
looks like a mad professor somewhere.
It's so over the top. I gave it a 2.